Good morning and welcome to another edition of our special tour of the Idaho Backcountry airstrips. Today, we're going to be leaving our sixth stop, which was Stanley Airport here in Stanley, Idaho. So that's where we're going to be this morning. And we're heading to stop number 7, which is 0U1 Warm Springs Airstrip near Lowman, Idaho. So we're going to come in here and just kind of take a look at this area and try to scout out and get a little better idea before we get started. This one's not going to be quite as easy as Stanley. You kind of nestled in here into the mountains. And it looks like it's up on a bench over the river. That's Payette River there, where Warm Springs comes into the Payette. So, and it looks like it is uphill. And if I remember correctly, there is a little bit of a rise in terrain right here. So while we might be inclined to come in this way and land, it's downhill. And there's this hill here too to contend with. So it's not really the right way to come in. I think what we're going to need to do is come in to the area. And let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. I think we're going to There's a lot of terrain, high terrain around there, isn't there? So I think we're going to come kind of directly up this way, but then as we come through here, probably what we'll want to do is just overfly the airport and kind of stay here until we can see a spot where we can turn around. And it looks pretty tight. What is the best way to get in here? We can get down here a little bit. There looks like some opening up down in here, so probably that's what we'll do is we'll just overfly a little bit, quite a bit, come down here, make a loop around here, and then come back in and approach from this direction here. Let's see, also, probably one of the things that we need to do is let's take a look at anything we can learn about the airport from SkyVector. So I'll go here and it's 0U1. I'll move that over here a quick second. This is Warm Springs Creek. Unattended, no telephone. Recommend land runway 2. Yeah, takeoff runway 20. Okay, when conditions allow. So runway 2 is the one we were talking about landing into. That will be going uphill. And so we'll come around and let's see what here. No line of sight between runway ends. No winter maintenance. So don't go in there in the winter. Let's get the white rocks. And a phone number to call. So it looks like, what are the runways here? 2 and 20, and the length is 2850. So it's pretty short. Let's see what else we got here. A 15-foot tree. 0 feet from the runway. Okay, so it's right. And a 45-foot tree, 0 feet from the runway, 120 feet left of center on 20. So yeah, you don't want to come in that way. There's big trees on 20. So we're coming in on 2. We just need to make sure that there's a 15-foot tree, not a big deal. It's just off to the left, so we should be fine. I'll just see that, I'm sure. That's it. 2850. So we have to get our, pay attention, make sure our airspeed's good when we come in there, but should be okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started on our way to our 7th stop in the backcountry, 0U1 Warm Springs.
TAWS system test, okay. TAWS system test, okay.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too.
Good morning from Stanley, Idaho. About ready to get on to our 7th stop in the Idaho Backcountry, so we're going to 0U1 Warm Springs. Let's go ahead and get fired up here. go ahead and take a look at our, so we've got 10 or maybe 13 gallons in that tank and about 15 gallons on the right side. So let's burn out the right for a while. Okay, and I think we're ready to go here. I'll turn the beacon and strobe on. Both bags and clear. Maybe we need to have a little fuel. What do you think about that? Probably a good idea. Clear. Works a lot better. Okay, just taking a little look at our, I think we were runway 17 is when we can just taxi down here and take off on runway 17. So we came in on 35. This end is paved a little bit, so well, we can back taxi, but I think we'll be just fine. Going this way, taking off. And Stanley traffic, November 107 Bravo Romeo, taxiing for departure, runway 17, Stanley traffic. And if we do direct here, we can go, what is it? 0 U 1 Warm Springs Creek. Okay, so you kind of know the general direction you have to go. Number 107 Bravo Romeo is rolling for departure. Runway 17 departing to the northwest. Stanley traffic. Gentle turnout here to the right. Actually, you know what? We're going to do a gentle turnout to the left because it drops off in altitude over there. We'll go over the river and we'll come around that way. And Stanley traffic, November 107 Bravo Romeo's left turnout over the Salmon River before we depart to the northwest. Stanley traffic. Got pretty high density altitude here, 6,500 feet or so is where we took off. Now there is a summit up here if we go up this way, and you kind of went north and west for a little while. You can see the road goes up that way. It'll curl around and come back into Lowman, so we could do that if we were wanting to, you know, follow the road instead of going direct. We could do that, but it's quite a bit out of the way, so it's much quicker to just go direct up. We just got to get over the sawtooths here. So just might do a spiraling turn here and get a little more altitude before we start to climb up and over. Lab's coming up. Gained about 1,000 feet so far, so we're just going to keep going here a little bit. Stanley traffic, November 107 Bravo Romeo. We're doing some circling climbing turns west of the field. Actually, yeah, west of the field. Gain some altitude before we depart to the south. I gotta call it the west-southwest Stanley traffic. We'll do one more turn here, and then I think we'll be good to head out. So just one more climbing turn. Look here, about 8,000, so we just gained about 1,500 feet. We'll probably have 2,000 feet under our belts here after the second climbing turn. That'll be a good head start. All those lakes, they're kind of hidden up in the mountains, so hiked into a couple of them before. They're really pretty. It's quite the adventure. All kinds of places to get into up here that not a lot of people have been to, but beautiful reward if you can hike into them. And get over the backside of these mountains, we'll go down into an area like Grand Jean. I could follow that valley kind of up towards Lowman as well, so hopefully we'll be able to just keep this climb going here. And we may have to do some more circle turns and things like that, because I have not done this before in a X-Cub. Lean the engine out a little bit more here. See if we can get better performance, but yeah, it looks like we're going to probably need to make another climbing turn here to the right. I'll go out. Well, are we going to be able to? Yeah, I think one more climbing turn. We'll go right like a 360 here. I think we're going to get up to about 10,000, and then we'll come through that notch over there. So let's just do this. that was a good move. Watch out for some ice because we're just in a little bit of moisture here, so. Okay, so let's just see what we're doing now. We're about 10.7 miles, 6.5 minutes away right now is what it's saying from the actual field. So we're gonna want to turn this way just a bit, and then remember we're gonna have to overfly it. So we're gonna probably start a descent now. Look at our fuel. Burning out of that tank right now, so yeah, we're about down to 13. Same there, so we're pretty good. I want to go this way here. Okay, I had a little bit of a distraction there, so probably need to start pulling back some power here and descending a little quicker. I'm going to take a look at the elevation for Warm Springs, 4831, and we're at 84, so we got to get down to just under 5. And we're pretty close, but remember we're going to overfly it, so we can take a look at it also, and then we're going to go up and make a loop somewhere where it widens out over the Payette River. I think that's it over there to the left. It looks like that's Warm Springs. So again, it's on a bench up above the river. We'll go ahead and get down a little bit lower. We're going to want to be down about 5,800 or so, so 6,000 maybe is a good place to level off. We do our turns here, so we're getting closer there. 64 right now, so we're going to keep a little extra altitude because we're, but I don't know that you couldn't come in and try to land this way, but you can kind of see you'd have to come in offset because of that. Some of those hills right in front of it that are kind of protecting it from this direction. So we're going to go just this way. We'll overfly, and like I said, we'll look for a spot to turn around and come back upriver so that we can have easier approach into Warm Springs. I believe to the right there, that little valley, that would be where Warm Springs is actually coming into Payette River. So okay, we're about 5,800, so this is probably low as we want to get here. And we'll follow the river up here. I do think that we have a little bit of a wider area there. We could do a 180 and get on in. Okay. Yeah, there's Warm Springs. We could probably turn around right here actually, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull this power back a little bit. We'll pull up a little bit, get the flaps in. Yeah, we got this. And we'll just kind of drop the nose a little bit. Add a little power, not too much. We want to stay in that flap range. So I'm going to pull back, throw my full flaps in. And we'll get lined up on our runway heading here. There's the river. Warm Springs is up there. I remember we're at 4,800, so we're at 56 right now. Warm Springs traffic, November 107 Bravo Romeo. Inbound for landing, about 2 miles to the south. Runway 20, or sorry, runway 2. Warm Springs traffic. So we're getting close. I'm going to come over this way a little bit because there's those trees on the left side that we were talking about. So,
500.
We'll get the power kicked in here a little bit because remember that's up on a bench, so sometimes you'll get a little sink over rivers and get a little cool air. So we'll just make sure we're not coming in too low. We're good. I think we're good airspeed right now. Let's go ahead and pull that power right out right now. All right, we'll just hold it off for a second, but we want to get down fairly quick because this is a short strip here, so I'm going to touch down as quick as I can. All right, and we're just porpoised a little bit, so there we go. And pull back and get a little brakes going here. All right, not too terrible. We're in safely to Warm Springs. Warm Springs traffic, November 107 Bravo Romeo is clear of the runway. Warm Springs traffic. we are, Warm Springs, and you can kind of see we got a pretty good sizable mountains on either side of us, really, but it wasn't as tight as I was thinking it was. It's, we didn't have to go too far. I was thinking we would have to go farther before turning around, but I wanted to make sure we had a lot of space, and it wasn't too bad. So just kind of looking around here and sizing this up, I'm kind of almost wondering if you come in over that and that little cut there, if you could, it's pretty steep coming down that way too, so I think you'd have I'm not sure that would gain you much. It doesn't really empty out with enough room to turn to final, so I'm going to say no. I think what we did was fine. I think it was good. So for those of you, anybody who actually flies into Warm Springs, pretty sure you probably do something where you come in on runway 2 and then leave out at the other way, so you're going to leave the way we came. That goes back downhill, I'm guessing, a little bit that way toward the river. And again, if you look over here, let's go down like we were coming in for approach on this way. We'll go backwards and then maybe down a little bit here. If we were coming in from this way, going back and down here, let's just see, I think this is a tricky way to come in. So first of all, you see a whole bunch of, you're going to lose a whole bunch of runway length right there just with the sheer woods bordering and protecting that end. So regardless of the other terrain, right there you're forcing yourself down the runway, quarter of the way or something like that. So there you lose, 700-800 feet maybe, and they're already kind of short. So that seems like because those are big tall trees. And then if we go this way, let's go this way a little bit, get more lined up, come back. Go down a little bit more here and just kind of see what we can see. This is, yeah, there's all the trees protecting it. I think you can kind of see too where we got this little hill here. So yeah, this is pretty. There's the hill right there, so you gotta kind of, you could probably do it, but it just wouldn't be smart, I guess, unless the wind was coming from, um, from downstream to upstream. If it was coming from basically right up there to the left or towards us, maybe there'd be some circumstances where you'd come in this way, but I think most of the time your best bet is to come in on runway 2 and depart this way. So when we get ready to depart, we'll head this way off downstream. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. We are here at Warm Springs in Lowman, Idaho, at stop number 7, 0U1, Warm Springs Creek.